anyways, today was a bit of a tough one, but I want to show my pillow. I've been wanting to show this pillow since last year. Look
Oh,
at
okay.
this. Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
It
Can
was
I see the
Gamus
back?
girls. It was the Gamus girls that made it for me for my birthday.
Oh, that was thoughtful of them.
But because I was moving house, I didn't have the opportunity to put it anywhere. So I just left it inside his bag. But I finally got the opportunity to actually show it. And I like it. It's a very, very nice pillow with my face on it. So, anyways, it's of course more of a decorative pillow than a pillow that I'm going to be lying down on top. I can't let that beautiful pillow be stains or whatever. So,
What's the worst?
anyways, today was cool. But I went to do the radio show today. So today's
I have nothing
topic,
to
hey
say.
Ron, my hand is not inside though. Is a hair. People of internet. Today's topic was chosen by Ron. My hand is not inside. I am throwing you under the bus. Baga,
Uh,
like that.
no problem.
Eh, I do not know anything about it. My hands are clean. I'm innocent. I know nothing. So let's just be on record that I know nothing. So, anyways, it's been a very eventful day. In fact, it's been an eventful week because they brought new furniture. We've had to take out the old furniture. But of course, that means that everything that we had arranged, we had to scatter balance the whole thing. So I had to climb over clothes to get into this seat right now. You don't even want to see the rest of my house or the rest of my living room. My house is okay, but the rest of my living room is a mess. So, anyways, this before we go into today's topic, Abby said, "Are you sure you're innocent?" I'm innocent, so Abby, I'm innocent. My hand no day inside. It is Ron that chose today's topic. My hand is our fufu nene, white. I keep
if
forgetting
I
that I'm not
told them
using
the one
this.
if I told them the one you wanted to choose, uncle.
Which one is the one who's actually it's better don't say it in case it's going to put me in trouble. Let me see if Sean has stopped shouting at people in traffic.
This
I've
is on.
unmuted him.
Okay, introduce the topic,
I'm
scroll it, and let's.
unmuting. So today's topic is what's the drama with deadbeat fathers and baby mamas? See, she's laughing. Did you see laws? Did you see her statement there?
You
Mm-hmm.
should come in
So that
studio
has
and
gone
stop.
up.
She has to come
Abby,
on
stop
board.
putting comments. Come and join us. Come
Come
and
on board.
join us because we know that we know ourselves.
We told you were coming this week.
Today's topic is what creates the drama with deadbeat dads and baby mamas, right? So that's the topic. And someone actually has said, Gloria Ogochukwu said, I actually love the topic. She said, I love the topic. Anyways, you love the topic. It's good that you love it, but my hand is innocent. Sha. My hand is not inside. That is all
Ah.
that is the song I am shouting. That is the song I am shouting, the story I am telling, the episode I am screaming out there. My hand is innocent too. And thank God, I kuku don't know any. I'm not married. I'm not. I don't know any deadbeat father. I'm not a baby mama. So my hand is here. This one I'm just going to moderate. But in fact, on Twitter today, it's been a very interesting day because this whole thing about a man building a property with certain amount of money, and then the wife using more money to do the interior brought about all kinds of things. People are going, hey, you want to get married and you're already thinking about divorce. And it just brought me back to what we talked about last week about prenups. And then the wife, hey, you want to get married and you're already thinking about divorce. I said what PK had said on the show. Back to what we talked about last week about What's going on?
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
What's going on? Okay. So, what Pike had said last week about people going into different kinds of contracts. When they want to do a job, they will sign different contracts. They want to sign music deal, they will sign contract upon contracts. But the most important contract of them all, which is marriage, they will be like, oh, we go in with band sprayers and premium knacks. And that is what they are going into it with, instead of like common sense. Like, okay, if a man has property and then he marries his wife and his wife is contributing towards that property, the only decent thing to do is to put her name on the property and not be like, eh, she's in me, it's our home. And I said something on Twitter. I said, you never know a person until you either have to start declaring your assets, or you are contemplating divorce, because that's when you will know what is truly your own and what is truly their own. And of course, people were bringing in sentiments, and of course, they started throwing the word feminist around as if it's an insult. I was just amused, like, really? And then there was a lady who was preaching. That was a different topic altogether. She was preaching and she was like, "Yes, I'm facing you, you feminists, because you're the ones." And I was like, "Is even does she even realize that it's feminists that fought for her to be able to actually stand up and preach?" To be able to wear jewelry, to be able to do all the different things. That it's feminists that were like, hey, women should have an education, women should be able to speak up and things like that. And she's now attacking them. And of course, people came with sentiments again. I was just like, oh God, it's so hard for people to just sit down and think objectively. So when you now brought this topic, I was like, hey, on your own, no man is not inside, because people will come with sentiments, you know. But hopefully, I trust our panelists. Anyways, they're not going to throw sentiments. It's the people who are going to comment later on YouTube that might throw sentiments inside, but we'll see. Sha. So, anyways, Ron, I think I've waited on for more than enough. Can you please explain to us why you chose this topic and what is
Okay.
your understanding of it? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for throwing me under the bus. I really appreciate it. So, because they massacred you somewhere else, where you thought it was
Oh, they
our.
didn't massacre me. They
Ah,
reach.
okay. So,
They're not rich.
incidentally, you doing a disclaimer. Let me even do another disclaimer. Apparently, after our last show,
Mm-hmm.
uh, after our last episode, that's the one we did last week. Oh my goodness, the feedbacks I got, especially from my friends, it's almost as if they were calling me a sellout. Like I had become politically correct, blah blah
Uh-uh.
blah. In fact, and I thought I was being traditional the whole time.
You were being traditional the whole time. What did they want you to do? They
I really
wanted you to become a Neanderthal altogether.
no, maybe it's the way I sound in real life. And see, listen, yeah, I am still me. I've not changed. I'm always going to be me. But the thing is
Oh,
this.
so you're a Neanderthal, basically. That's what you're saying. Because you're already traditional. Any more traditional than that, you'll be a caveman dragging his hands on the ground with a club.
Well, I still have my principles. I still have my principles intact. Everything is fine. It's just that we're reaching a wider audience, and we're trying to get everybody on board. We are not
Yeah,
trying.
I don't understand though.
I'm still explaining now.
Okay.
We're not trying to muscle anybody into any belief. The thing is, everybody will have a say. You come with your own ideology. I come with mine. We all try to reason. That's what's going to make the whole show fun. There's no need for me to drum in my opinions. Like, in fact, I to some extent, when I watch these clips again, I feel like actually drumming my opinions to
Mhm.
people. I actually feel
That's
I
what I'm
do.
saying. That what more do they want? What more do they want?
I don't know. I just think I'll just have to go.
Ah,
Anyway, well, that's out of the way. It's still me. Oh, I've not changed. So we'll go to the topic. The topic for today. This what creates these deadbeat fathers and baby mama. Actually, there was a way I coined the topic before Abby washed her hands off. And me too. So when I don't apply,
It
when I
was
apply,
too confrontational.
well, okay. Let me start by this. Being a deadbeat, either of the scenarios are morally not acceptable. Okay. However, there are extenuating circumstances that might lead to certain issues. For instance, who do I start with now? Do I start with the guys or the ladies? Okay, ladies
Start
first.
with your gender, I beg.
Okay. For instance, most guys who turn out to be deadbeats, I'm not justifying their excuses, though. It's just sometimes we just say it as it is. Some men are just not mature enough to be parents. And you know, thank God I'm not God. Thank God I'm not God. There are some people that have no business in reproducing or replicating themselves. They just don't have. They are not even meant to be in that line of thought, or And we have some who maybe started out well, maybe due to frustration or maybe I don't know, uh, too much exuberance. They go into drug addiction or any other form of gambling or something like that, or alcoholism. Then you find, yeah, which is also an addiction. Then you find that they struggle to take care of themselves, let alone taking care of their offsprings. Then we also have people who just meet, like a man meeting a lady at a party. You don't know her before. Both of you get drunk or high, then you just go and impregnate the lady. Then you wake up, you said, "Oh, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not ready for all this nonsense." Then willingly and intentionally abandon. You know what's funny, Abby? These kids
Mm.
that are born like that, like these kids that are born like how do they call, what are those unintentional kids? Those kids always end up looking like their fathers, whether it's a boy or a girl. Have you ever noticed it?
I don't know too many, but yeah, maybe that would be true.
Most cases they end up resembling their fathers. So just to shut that issue of let's do DNA. When you see the child, okay, this is my child and all that. So that's from the men's perspective. Then the women's perspective, the first, okay, let me first extenuate by saying sometimes women get pregnant through rape, very possible
Exactly.
through rape. In that kind of scenario, we really need to sympathize with such a person or empathize with such a person because one, to be being raped is an issue. Then secondly, on top of that, she has to come and raise the child to be reminding her of what's happened or how the child came about. Such women, well, God bless you, or God be with you. It's those those deserve my sympathy. Then we have widows too. No, are widows really baby mamas? No, they don't. Do they
Well,
call?
they're single mothers because baby mamas are usually classed
No,
as
no,
single
no,
mothers too.
let's not mix it up. Widows are not baby mamas, so let's not mix it up. Then we
Because
have.
if widows are baby mamas, then Mrs. Idowu is a baby mama.
Huh? What are you saying?
I
Wait, sorry.
know. There we
What
go
did we,
now.
what did we agree on before we came on live? What was the last thing we spoke about? What was the
I'm
last?
sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
I mean, you're going to get me in trouble one of these days. I said,
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it. It was
you're going to
it
cross the-
was there. It was lying down there. There was no way I could walk past it. I had to go
no,
and
no,
talk to it now.
no. Please, everybody, let's pretend like we didn't hear it, okay? Then, so, okay, now we've talked about rape. Then now let's go to the real baby mamas. There
But
are those.
this is the thing. Before you continue, Ron, you do know that there are many women who will be mothers through that aspect, maybe rape, but they will never tell anyone that they were raped because it's not something you go and
Part of the
broadcast.
stigma. It's part
So,
of this.
so because of the stigma, so they will just be lumped into that, oh, useless women, that kind of thing.
That's,
Meanwhile,
that's why I said such women, they deserve sympathy because
but
just
how do you differentiate them from the ones that don't deserve
that,
sympathy?
that is where the wahala comes in. That's the problem. Then,
Abby
now,
is here, yay!
and the reason why I'm pointing it out is that so that we don't lump them all up together. Rape victims should be really. Hey, hello, Abby.
Hello. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, let me clap you in.
Hey!
Thank you.
Okay, so we don't want to lump those ones in, So that's why I'm very tactical about rape victim.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you separate them when they
That
will
is
not come out to say that they've been raped? Because
okay.
unfortunately, especially Nigeria, it is not a country that has any sympathies towards anyone who's suffered rape. So
I
when
think
a woman can't even come out and say this is what's happened to me, so she will just, so basically, I think, and I'll let you continue. But I think that that thing of, oh, baby mamas, oh, that has to stop. That judgment, or because we don't know what created the baby mama situation.
I'll tell you who the real I'll tell you who the real culprits are and the people causing the problems. Now the
Okay,
issue is we have a new trend, and I wanted to call it a syndrome before, but you said I shouldn't. We have a new trend of young ladies trying to hook successful. Now I'm using the word successful because it might either be fame or wealth. So let's use the general term successful men by using pregnancy. I'll give you an example. Okay, I don't want to call names, but you get the general idea. You see a celebrity, you don't know the celebrity from Adam, it's just popular, and you have this one night stand, and you go out of your way, like, oh, okay, this thing must happen, then I must keep this pregnancy. And in most cases, the guy is always like, madam, I'm not I'm not ready for all this. Now it's a two-way thing because one, most girls will tell you that I'm not going to do an abortion because I don't want to take the risk and damage my reproductive organs and not being able to have kids in future because I want to abort this celebrity's child. So for that reason, they keep the child. Then there are those that now now there are those that intentionally from the onset that is their plan and that is what they want to do as they brag about it on social media because up to when I grew up, I never knew that a time will come in this time and age where baby mamas will come out and start bragging that this is who I am, this is what I did, and this is where I am now. I'm like,
yeah,
what is
not see no, but okay.
you're not paying attention? That's the problem. You're
Ah,
not paying
okay.
attention. You're not paying attention. There was a time last year. Was it last year? There was a time last year. Somebody actually came out and lied against Davido. These two girls, they actually recorded a video, posted it on social media. I actually believe that was when I used to waste my time watching rubbish on the internet. But I actually believed what I saw that she actually slept with Davido, blah blah blah. And later on, it turned out that it was a lie and all that. But after that incident, they were all there. I don't want to keep remembering
But
and calling it
doesn't Davido know the people he slept with?
who celebrity.
I'm, no, but it's like me. I just wake up one morning and just go, I slept with Davido. From where
Wait,
to where now?
wait, wait. A celebrity? Are you pretending like you don't know their lifestyles? They've
No,
been
but
they've been different women at different cities, different area codes, different everywhere. It is their life. That's the life of the road. That's the life of the road. It didn't start today. It's been going on before our time. It didn't start
what,
today.
that they won't know who they slept with.
Yeah,
No, I'm
you
just asking. No,
I'm even telling you the people. There are people that are not even 1/10 as popular as Davido, even doing worse than David. Okay, sorry, I'm even accusing the Davido. Do you tell us what's that? Tell us what's that? What is alleged that he's doing? You
David,
understand?
no, my hand is not inside though.
I'm just saying. I said there are people who live that kind of rough lifestyle. Do you understand? But what I'm saying in essence is that there's a consequence and implication for all these things I've enumerated, because these things produce kids. These actions produce children. Children by default are meant to be raised in a stable environment. When people go out of their way to destabilize this order and do what they feel like doing. Oh, okay, sorry, I missed one more point. My brain was racing. Yeah, the spam bank people, the people that will just wake up one day, I hate guys, and they just go to spam bank and impregnate themselves and they have
Ah,
kids. Yes, now. You don't know.
so anyone who uses a sperm bag does it because they hate men.
I'm ah,
No, I'm asking you. I'm only reiterating your statement so that I'm sure that I heard you right. Abi,
stop.
Abi,
I mean, you're just being disingenuous. You know what I mean? Stop.
I'm not
This
being
is
deceived.
Stop.
this is this
Stop.
is
Stop.
this
Okay, no
is
vex. I wanted to be clear, but let me
People
keep
do it.
quiet.
People, I know women who do it. At least I've known like
Okay.
three so far who just went to sperm banks, got themselves pregnant, and they have the kids. No attachment to any man. The kid does not know the father, nothing, and life is normal for them. So what I'm saying in essence is because of the society as we find ourselves today. The society is not what it used to be, and I would have wished that with the kind of information, technology, knowledge we have now, that maybe we would have had a saner environment. But things get worse. Kids are getting worse. Crime rates are skyrocketing. Unthinkable things that were unthinkable during our time, is now normal now, and there's nothing
In our
anybody.
time.
Yes, there's nothing any, and the level of discipline that was administered, corporal discipline, was administered back then, is no longer fashionable now, because some governments don't allow you hit your kids. It's not allowed. You understand? So where do we go if even if people that are meant to be parents and doing the right things are the ones doing the wrong things? Where do we go from here? I'm not judging all of them. I'm just saying my own judgment is focused on the intentional ones, the ones that intentionally want to be what either deadbeat that or intentional baby mamas. I have no problems with accidental ones like the rape, the whatever excusable ones. I'm fine. I don't have a problem with them. But it's the ones that want to use it as a claim to fame, or that's from the woman's side. Then the irresponsible men that just, in fact, in the scriptures actually say if you're a man and you have kids and you're not taking care of them, you're worse than an infidel. Don't take care of your kids, you're worse than an infidel. So this is not me being judgmental. It's already been written. You don't even need the scriptures to tell you to take care of your kids. You don't need credit for taking care of your kids.
Okay, okay. Before you speak, I want to introduce Sean. Sean, my babbler. A round of applause. You're welcome. We got you on air before, but you were shouting abuse at. He was in traffic. He was cussing out the person in front of him. So we're going to have Abby speak, and then Sean, you get to speak. So Abby, the floor is yours.
okay. I need to introduce myself properly tonight. My name is Abi. Also known as Abimbola. I hardly say this online, but I am Abimbola. I'm a full-fledged Yoruba lady.
Hey.
Um, yeah, and what else do you need to know about me? I am a change agent. I am a change agent. So I want to believe that the reason why we're talking about this topic today is so that people can start thinking and start changing. So we are Nigerians, I assume majority of us are living in the United Kingdom or probably abroad. And I want to believe that as many that will join us, they are Nigerians as well, or maybe if you're not Nigerians, they're Africans. And you just want the best from that part of Africa that you come from. So in that perspective, we are not going to be thinking like a typical Nigerian person. And I'm sorry if I'm being too blunt about it tonight. Now, everything that Rona said, I'm sorry, it's very typical, like typical Nigerian person. Sorry, I'm going to beg you after we finish this session, but let me just say
Please,
it
may
in.
I say there's somebody who has background noise. It's really encroaching. Can you maybe, I don't know whether it's a TV
It's
or radio or something.
on,
Okay,
switch off
not from my end.
on,
Can I
something is
use it?
on, something is on. I think your TV is on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
On my
all
side.
right. So
Is
what
my
I'm
mic
trying to
on?
say is this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We cannot take something from the head. We have to look for the reasons why people are doing what they're doing. Okay? So why will somebody want to claim to fame? What are they looking for? Why is somebody who wants to be a deadbeat father? What are they looking for? So it starts from the background, the family unit. Now, you said something about it didn't happen in your time. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm part of that time, or maybe I don't know. I'm 41, by the way. Anyway, so I I try to tell people my age just in case the day that I die there is no controversy to say, oh, I think I'll be 10 or 20 or 30. I'm 41.
No, we are
So
the same time. Don't worry.
uh-huh. So what the reason the reason I'm saying that is that I'm trying to be very correct and without being disrespectful to anyone, but I'm saying that this whole problem started from the generation of our parents by not giving them the adequate knowledge, and that's both male and female, understanding values, understanding what family unit looks like. Now, you don't necessarily have to have a father or a mother to become successful or to become sensible, okay? But the point there is that even the ones that have parents that are not being, there are people who have parents and are not being successful. So it all boils down to the family unit. So you are a single parent. What knowledge, what expertise, what information are you given? The deadbeat fathers, and I'm not trying to excuse them. Majority of them don't know any better. They are clueless. And then the women who, by themselves as well, because if they know better, probably they wouldn't have chosen the deadbeat fathers. I'm guilty somehow, so I'll be very mild to myself as well. They would probably have chosen the deadbeat fathers. And so if you have not chosen the deadbeat fathers, how can you know who to choose? When all you were told as a child is go to school, go to school, go to school. You finish school, get married, get married. Where would you learn all those values from? Either way, and it comes to the man. So I was talking to a friend before the call today. He got married to a white lady and was boasting about my wife gives me happiness, blah, blah, blah. The only problem is that she doesn't know how to cook. And I flipped it. I said, if your wife was a Nigerian person, probably African, if she doesn't know how to cook, would you have a problem with it?
Uh-huh.
Do you get what I mean? So most men growing up, they were taught, the few ones that changed, they changed because they taught to change. They want to be that change themselves. Some people know how to cook because they love food, not because they're carrying husband, but because they love food and they see that this woman is going to make me get hungry. So they go to the kitchen and AKA they are the best husbands. Okay? Because they know how to cook. But that is not really the fact that they are the best husband or they are the best father. It's just because they are hungry. They are very hungry and they love
Hungry
food.
lions.
Yeah, and they love food and then they know how to cook. But that is not, it's not about, those literal things that we can see. Uh, Sorry, I don't know if you can hear a noise.
Oh yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So they are hungry, and so the bottom line for me is that before somebody is looking for claim to fame, do they even value themselves? Either party. Do they know the essence of being alive? Do they know what they needed to do? Do they know who they are? So if you say, oh, why are you think claim to fame? You don't know that's what's going to cost you. That is not the problem. We are looking at the symptoms rather than facing what is the problem. And that's why I had to introduce myself that I am part of, there is no organization, but I am a change agent, which means that for every sensible Nigeria, I will keep educating them no matter how small we are. We all need to learn. We can do better. We can learn from others. Okay. So if we take that away, go back to the topic of today, saying that, what can you say about deadbeat fathers? They are basically, and I know if I want to sound like a feminist, sorry, Abi, I tend to tell people that I'm not a feminist, but I'm somebody that upholds values. So I like equality. I like people being mindful of my space. I love freedom. I love giving people choices. Okay? So if you term that as feminism, I don't know. But I'm not, yeah, that's what I mean. But I like to define my own terminology. So if you want to group it, you're free. But I am not. So I'm going to come out to say I am a feminist. And I don't hate them. They are my best friend. They know. Okay?
I
But
am
at
a
the end of
feminist.
the day, that's what I
So
mean. But at the
always good
end of
to
the
define
day,
your stance.
at the end of the day, what we are trying to say is that let's just look at the root cause of each, both the deadbeat fathers. Some women are very crazy. Yes, women, I'm sorry. Yeah, I say that. We all have a bit of craziness anyway. But some women, they have this craziness that, oh, if a man is not going to be with me, he can't be with the children, he can't have the children, to forget. Some men, they are as useless as their fathers. I'm sorry, like I said, they are as useless as their fathers because that they don't know any better. But what can we do? With blaming somebody is like somebody being I'm trying to be very whatever now, gay, lesbian, and all that, politically correct. If that's what they are, you can't change them by going to do skabash or praying or whatever. I'm sorry. You can't change them by blaming them. If you see a smoker, a chain smoker, somebody that takes they give a different name now. I'm learning it because somebody was telling me, I'm working with the youth. And they say, oh, Abi, do you know, there is conk, there is this, you hear different ones from different people. I'm like, okay, break it down. Which is which? I'm confused. But the bottom line is, you can't correct those people with the blame culture. This is what we are, what we know how to do. Oh, the reason why you're a baby mama is because you don't give
You're
your husband
useless
respect. It's because you're useless. It's because you don't. I'm trying to look for the English word now. You lack respect.
for
That's why
yourself.
you're a baby mama. And the other person will be like, oh, that baby father, oh, he's the most useless baby father. But what we don't know is that when you listen to each story, they are unique. But the bottom line of both stories, both the one that they rape, the one that they did not rape, is still lack of people. Lack of people understanding the fundamental things that we need to know. We need to learn. We all need to learn. We don't know the things. Okay, we want good things, but we don't know. We don't want to follow process. A typical Nigerian person that I am, thank God for the UK, to learn process. To learn that things is not microwave. You see all good families, you be like, oh, that family is looking okay. Do you know how they got there? Do you know what they had to sacrifice? So we all can do better. So we can come here to them and be like, oh, deadbeat fathers, da 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 da, deadbeat mothers, da da da, oh, mothers are these. I've seen deadbeat mothers, and I'm not even joking. I've seen it. A mother that doesn't leave, that left the husband because there's no money in the family, and then find it difficult to even speak to our children, find it difficult to even communicate with those children. And she's a mother. She's alive. And I know the story like the back of my hand. So when we are looking at those kind of mothers and we're looking at those kind of fathers, what do they lack? The people, their partners that got married to them, what were they seeing before they got married to them? Were they hasty? What were they looking at? Were they not seeing those signs beforehand? Did you not see that this person, Nigerians don't like the word mental health, but a lot of Nigerians, they are officially sick.
Okay, before we go into that, I want to give Sean an opportunity because I see that he's looking, he's nodding, he's smiling. Although he's become blurred now, we can't see you properly anymore. But Bablo, would you like to share your thoughts on what's the drama with deadbeat fathers and baby mamas?
Good evening, everybody. I did I didn't realize I was speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay. Now I was trying to get your attention. You know all you did to bring me up here, Abi.
Mm.
So I was trying frantically in traffic to get your attention. While I was doing that, I think I was kind of losing concentration getting home. So and Lagos traffic, people were just we Nigerians were
It's
just
understandable. It's fine. It's
proving
fine.
to be Nigerians on the road. You know,
Don't worry, I'll edit that
everybody.
part. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be edited. Yeah.
What part?
You
Oh,
screaming at the other people in the
I'm
traffic.
busy
Edit
editing.
it, please.
I will. Don't worry. I got your back.
Thanks, bro.
We got
So
you.
I was multitasking, trying to make it to the studio,
Okay.
trying to stay alive, all in one piece.
And you succeeded in everything. So tell us, what are your
Hallelujah.
thoughts?
Now, uh, in fact, I really had to try and check. Okay, deadbeat, someone who is how did the dictionary put it? I do. That's the word. That's the keyword I picked.
Okay, I can give
So
you the Nigerian terminology if you want.
I do.
No, we were,
You are
we were
not
looking at Oxford Dictionary.
non performer.
Uh, it's those kind of people we call irresponsible.
Yeah,
But what
you see,
does Oxford Dictionary say? Not Nigerian Dictionary now. What does Oxford
I
Dictionary say about deadbeats?
what Oxford Dictionary said about that. I didn't go. I just checked one. You know, I know what a deadbeat whoever is, but you know, I just
Okay.
wanted to like let me just even because I'm not taking time to de- define it from any classified dictionary or what. But what I picked, and it wasn't Oxford. I don't think it was Oxford. Anyway,
Okay.
the word idol, you know, someone who is practically living but not existing. I don't know how to put it. You know, so someone who is not a non-performer, you're not there. You're there, but you're not representing. So pretty much, the Abimbola has said so much. I'm not sure I got on set while Ron was about. I trust Ron. Always, at least
People
I
have
came on
cancelled me. Oh.
I came on when it was I came. You say
People has cancelled me. Oh.
You
no.
are
You made a point.
counseling.
No
Eh,
problem.
how now? How?
He has
Because
cancelled me.
no,
I will
you
not
were
do
talking
that.
about what the scripture. When I came on,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I get
you
what
were
you're
talking
saying.
about what the scripture says about
Yes.
So, but you know, it's easy to point fingers. Really, you know, I try as much as possible not to do that. Like Abimbola said earlier, the main thing is what is the solution to the problem. No, if someone is termed or tagged a deadbeat, whatever, why? What went wrong? Because it's not normal, really. They say if you can't make them, if you can't train them, don't make them.
Mm-hmm.
So once you bring someone to life, you bring life to life, so to speak, then you should be ready in whatever capacity to be responsible for that life. And you see, it's quite unfortunate. This is we've come to give them to term this thing and make it fashionable. You know, deadbeats, baby mama, all that. Yes, there is a problem. At the point I looked at the level of homeless people, the level of miscreants around, they are still, in quotes, staying in a more decent environment. But here, you see, in fact, I heard that in the north is even worse. The Almajiris, when someone will birth like 10, 20, even a senator, a supposed elder and leader, came to the National Assembly floor and was bragging, brought his wives to the floor of the National Assembly, called the first one, stood up, she recognized herself and waved. And he was bragging about, yes, that guy or whoever that guy was, he could spend, but it's not even about you spending money. Training a child, making people, young people responsible is not about you giving them everything that life can afford. It's not about that. So if someone brings someone to life and just takes off, how many women have gone to men and say, come on, I can't see my visitor again. They say, go look for her. And that's at the end. You slept with her. She's pregnant. She informed you. And the next thing is, I'm not ready. Back in the days, I always try to bring out the funny side of every serious situation. They will tell, when we are growing up, they will say, "Oh, but you ready? Ma ready." If you are not ready to father or take responsibility of a child, don't sleep with a woman. Literally. So we are kind of, I don't know. It's a big problem. For me, I would say let's try as much as possible not to make it hip, not to make it sound okay. It's not. It's not.
Okay, thank you very much for your views. I want to put this out here. Let's look at these situations. Now, a lot of men in our parents' time and even our time, I think it's starting to change to a certain extent. A lot of men were brought up where they were the golden children in the house. They didn't do anything. They woke up in the morning, had breakfast, put on their clothes, went out of the house. Nobody knew where they went. They were having a great time. Their sisters were the ones cleaning the house because he's the son of the house, so he's the man of the house, blah, blah, blah. And the values about being a man, because number one, the dad is rarely around. Because think about it, a lot of women married men who are much older than them in our mother's generation. So most of the time, during the man's active years, he's always away at work. And most of the time, the mothers were at home, or they did jobs that brought them home on time to be with the kids. So the man is rarely around to be an example to his sons. Generally. Now, not everyone, but I'm just saying generally. Then when these children start to become young adults, this man has now advanced in age. So he really can't be shouting at anybody anymore. So he's just sitting there, bring food, he eats, he watches television, he goes and plays draft with his friends. So the boys are usually raised by their mothers, or they raise themselves, or they're raised by older, like men within, like, just maybe a decade older than them in the community, and not really that example of this is how to be a man. And then, of course, they grow up. they've been told that they're the golden children, that they're walking around with golden seeds in their loins, and they can spread it as much as they want, and all of that. And you will actively see where a girl will come to a guy's house and say, ah, your son slept with me, and the mother will be like, God forbid, you're not bringing any nonsense into my house. My son cannot touch someone. And instead of making people take responsibility for the things that they have done, parents will actively cover up or actively deny on behalf of their children. And when your mother is already shouting on your behalf that, no, you and my son is more, of course he too is going to go, no, I didn't touch her, and all that stuff. So that's with the men. Now when we look at the girls also, girls were basically, is more of recently that we are encouraging girls to be go-getters, to have a job, to have businesses. It was very much a, you grow up, you get to a certain age, they palm you off to a man. You're no longer a problem, you're not his problem. And yeah, as soon as you get married, the very next day after your wedding, they're already looking at your stomach. When are the babies coming? They've already defined what you are supposed to be doing with your life. So we find women who, they will meet a guy. I talked about how I almost fell into, well, I didn't almost fall into it because I was like, Lila, is not happening. But where it was brought to me that, let's get married, and then the person is going to go off abroad, and then I'll be waiting in Nigeria. If we had married and he had slept with me and I had gotten pregnant and he had gone off and then never showed off, what have I become? Baby mama. But legally married baby mama. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are many.
You are mama baby.
There are many legally married baby mamas whose baby daddies are nowhere to be seen because they've gone off for greener pastures, they've gone and married for papers, or gone and found new life or whatever. So there's so many ways that this thing. Then of course in fact, this whole sleeping with an artist or a famous person to make a baby, to be honest, because even in our parents' days, when the artist slept, that was why I was asking the question, that an artist will sleep with a girl and he wouldn't know the girl he slept with, because even in the days of them Baba, Sonia Ade and all of that, when they sleep with the women, they know who they slept with. They know that, yes, I slept with this one. So when the girl comes and says, this one, that one, that one, that one, hey, we know that, okay, this has happened. And because again, polygamy was something that was okay back then, nobody really had much to say against it. It's now that people be like, no, we're not doing polygamy. But back then, a man could have as many wives. So, okay, you're pregnant, join them now. No problem. There are already 3 waiting in the house. Go and join them. Since we have a child, we have MK Abiola. How many? Only God knows how many children that one has all over the place. They said he will identify his children by their ears. They'll be like, oh yeah, let me see the child's ears. Yes, that's my own. Oh yeah, go and join them. So it wasn't like so in this whole Davido, forgive me, is your name that they be saying, so I'll call your name. So like, Davido, then I want to see, and Davido wants to know who he slept with. I'm sorry, I may come across as very naive, but it's strange to me that will happen. It's strange to me that a man will sleep with a woman and he won't even know that this is someone I slept with because, well, I'm a star or whatever. So I think we need to look, because it is so easy, and especially in our community, quick judgment. Because this is the thing: not everybody is a Christian, not everybody is a Muslim. There are people who are traditionalists who believe in polygamy, whatever. So to use one religious tenets to judge everybody, or use one aspect of culture to judge everybody, I think is rather unfair. It's not right, and I think it's polarizing. But that's my thoughts. So I'll just throw that back to you there. I just wanted us to consider those things. So who wants to
Okay.
kick off?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, first and foremost, let's get something
Okay.
straight.
Okay.
Before religion came in, we had our systems there. Huh? Either way, either of the concept, deadbeat father or there being a deadbeat father or being a baby mama was never acceptable. So let's get that out of the way. This has nothing to do with religion telling us what to do. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. Let's not muddle it up. We had sense before the white people came to Africa. We were doing things.
Definitely.
Yeah, we had sense in our own way. We were doing our own things. We had our morals. In fact, most of those morals have gone through the window as we speak now. We have our morals. Now, I agree with uh, okay. I call you. Should I call you Bimbola and Happy so that I don't confuse you?
Abi, okay, okay.
So I don't confuse. So I agree with what Abby said to some extent that most of these things didn't start now. That it's a derivative of something that
Yeah.
was before their time. And even in the truth of what she's saying, it still brings up back to the square one of the issues that something went wrong along the line, along our practice. We had I won't say there's no perfect system in the world, but we had a very, very, very upright moral system
yeah.
before now. I'll give you a classical example. The disciplining of a child in the African environment was a community effort. It wasn't just your parent. Your parent didn't have to be there for you to be disciplined. If you cross the line and the community accepts that what you've done is wrong, they'll discipline you before they see your parents. And when your parents come, you dare not even mention it because you receive another one. Now that's out of the way. This is the thing here. This thing is progressing to the point whereby this thing is now people are now accepting these terminologies and they are bragging. In fact, that's where I draw the line. It's not about pitying the victims now. It's not about people doing it and making it look as if, oh, okay,
It's
it's a
okay.
status. Yeah, it's a status symbol. It is not. If you find yourself in that condition by a means beyond your power, yes, we feel sorry for you. How do we fix it? How do we move on from this bad situation? Then, if there's counseling, like Abimbola said, let there be counseling. If there needs to be anywhere to package the person, so the person does not lose focus because of that hiccup, it's fine for me. I'm okay. But what I think is not right is for us to think that is being modern. Being modern is by by
Stupid.
celebrating these things we're talking about. It's not meant to be celebrated. Why would I want to celebrate? Why would somebody who is supposed? Okay, okay, fine. Like Abibola said, maturity, and he didn't know better. Okay, let's classify it as immaturity. But then again, we are talking about human beings here. I don't know. I don't know of another way to run away from this because the thing is so deep. It's not as simple as I would like to dismiss it. It's deep. It's really, really deep. We're talking about another human being who
Life.
has the
Yeah.
potential to be a leader. And this is the reason why we're having the kind of leaders we have in the society. And people keep thinking that these leaders come from Mars. They don't come from Mars. Any leader you get in your society is a manifestation of what was already there. Nobody is coming from space, from UK or America. Come from wherever you are. It is what this society spits out that it takes. So to some extent, I'm against the glorifying or glamorizing of these terminologies. If somebody finds himself in the situation, maybe not by their will, okay, fine. And yeah, how do we help the person? How do we set the person up in such a way that the person moves past that stage of his or her life? No, sorry, her life in the case of women. But for deadbeat dad, being a deadbeat dad, I don't see, to be sincere with you, I really find it difficult to sympathize with deadbeat dad because Sometimes you think being a father is all about money. It's not about money. Sometimes, even if you're broke as a pauper, or you're a junkie, or just show up. Just show up. You don't need the money. Just show up. That's for me. That's the way I see it. You don't need money to be a father. Children are so sensitive that when you show love to them, they recognize it. Even when you don't have money, your child will know you don't have money. You don't have to run away. Even if the mother and her mother's family are buying designers for him, and you go to one cheap place, that child have that tendency. I don't know, most kids. I'm not saying it's all low, but most kids have the tendency to appreciate that stuff that the father sweated for to get to him or her. They appreciate it, and some kids don't even want anything. They just want to be seeing this person and say, "Hey, daddy." That's all, and they're happy. And it helps them psychologically because when they see their parents around, this one's father is coming. I'm talking about those whose fathers are still alive, not those who has passed on. But I'm saying those that are available. That's why we're talking about deadbeat dad. I think we need to change this culture. It's not helping. It's not a modern thing, and it's not helping anybody. It's destabilizing the society more and more. It's destabilizing, and we need to talk about it. We don't need to coin it in another way, or polish it or paint it or make it look nice. For the issue of baby mama, yeah, I just gave excuses for that. But that deadbeat that one, we need to really talk about it.
Okay.
It's something we need to talk about. So that's my submission.
Sorry, I was
you try to abuse me, Abi? It's all right.
I didn't say anything about me.
That's why I punished the topic. Okay, Abi, please stop.
I was eager to jump in, and the reason I'm saying I was eager to jump in is that, is there a place where people are being trained to be good fathers if they don't have a father that's trained them?
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
Now, there's a reason why the family structure, the unit, is the way it was from the beginning. Man.
No, don't go far wrong. I'm saying, is there a place for parents, for father that doesn't have a father? I'm not, like I said, I'm not opening excuses for them. But in order to find a solution to a problem, we have to analyze this problem with a view to finding a solution. So we can talk from now to tomorrow. A deadbeat father that is intentional, that he wants to be deadbeat, is going to be like that. But we are giving room to people who will listen to this and be like, okay, maybe I need to visit my roots. I need to know why I'm doing this. What do I need to know? Why should I do something differently for what I used to do?
Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of how it used to be handled before we lost control, because I believe we've lost control now. Back then, a man has kids. Those days, men could tell if they were strong enough up to it or not. They could tell. They didn't need anybody to tell them. So you see this father sending off these stubborn kids or whatever kids they have off to an older brother or another relative that with somebody that is manly enough that is going to be able to inculcate what he feels he cannot put in the child. So it seems.
Can I stop you there? Can I just stop you there? The reason now, the example you are giving is a fantastic one, but do you know that from those strong men or strong relatives, that's where abuse started from? Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so no, we are going to come into abuse later on, but I just want to state how these things were solved then. So you have them sending off their kids to these people. Even till this day, you go to people's homes, a child is misbehaving, they say, oh, I'm sending you to Uncle Abaja's house this week. Then you just see the child adjust. Or maybe it's a mom, a single mom who doesn't have, without a father, maybe the father is late or something. They just say, oh, you failed in your test, you didn't do well, and you're a truant and all that. I am sending you to Uncle Abaja. Then immediately you just see that brain reset taking place. Like, mommy, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. This is that. Back then, I used to see those things. It's no more like that again. All these things I'm saying, they are no more in existence. It's free for all. Everybody's on autopilot. It's free for all now. You can't even correct a kid anymore. That's what I'm talking about.
Ron, people don't want to send their kids to any auntie like Waja, whatever, because we found out with a lot of people in our generation, and even some people in the generation after us, and some people in the generation before, that a lot of abuse happens. It's not even, we're not even talking sexual abuse, like psychological abuse, physical abuse, where some kids were, had marks, broken bones, or again, any kind of mental torture in the name of, oh, you were sent to me, so for me because that person then can start looking at themselves like some kind of demigod, that I can do whatever I want to do with you. Your parents sent you to me to come and get training, and therefore I can do whatever I want. And then some of those things become sadistic. They become like really evil in the name of, I'm training this child. So that's why a lot of people don't send their kids
Abi,
to
sorry,
anybody
Abi,
anymore.
let's not be careful to generalize the example you gave. Remember that the example you are giving is in the lower percentage. Not everybody that went off for training came back scarred.
So
You were here when PK was talking about the man who sent him to school and how he idolizes and how he idolizes the guy till this day. It's not everybody. Bad things happen to good people, whether or not you're in a good setting or a bad setting. We can't escape these things. They all, even when you protect your own child, don't go out, don't mix with this, don't talk to that person. You find out that the day the child decides to wander to go and watch television somewhere, something happens.
So, Ron, going back to my question, so what I was thinking is, I'm saying that is there a place where people learn how to be good parents? So you gave me an example saying that back in the days, people have, relatives where they can send that children
Yeah,
first, the children at the concert. And so that is also shifting responsibility to another person. And I'm saying that this all begins from awareness of
mm-hmm.
male and female. If we run away from the dogma of boy meets girl, girl meets boy, and the next thing is that 6 months after we want to get married with no clue, and the parent or family member has no question to have to say, oh, they love each other, they need to get married. If we move away from those nonsense, right, then we start thinking as humans. Now, a child that has never lived alone before, I'm talking of a female child now, they've always been lived, they're like, like chickens that you want to cage somewhere. They've never lived away from the home before. The only opportunity they had is probably to go to uni or college or whatever, diploma, whatever, and they finish, they go back to their cage, right? And that child, rather than allowing that child to grow into adulthood, because automatically people are supposed to grow as they grow older, they're supposed to develop, even though scientifically we know that some people still have mental illness that will not make them to develop. Okay? We know that they see any deadbeat father that is deadbeat, there's something wrong with him psychologically. He's not a normal human being. He needs to be diagnosed. They need to have a look at him. Because if you follow, I don't like why Sean is laughing. Seriously, there is a mental illness, and it's vice versa. Any woman that has a husband, like somebody that's really looking after the children, and there is no abuse, and there is nothing, and she just woke up one day and said, "Oh, I don't like my husband anymore. I just want to go." Even though I know that most women don't fall into that category, but let's assume they do. If you do that, there is clear sign of mental illness, which is what Nigerians don't like because they see it as a way to excuse. But if you diagnose those people, I'm not a doctor, okay? If you diagnose those people properly, you will know that there is a sign of psychosis or a kind of illness that people need to go and actually look at them, because they cannot be normal and have a child and then leave the child and not look after the children. All right? But let's look at it from this angle. Do we like to talk about sex, for instance? Oh, sorry, SCS. Let me not say sex. Do we like to talk about it? Do we even
No,
mention?
feel free.
Feel free. Do we even mention it? So, if we are still in that generation that they must uplight before they do, how would you now not know when a child comes and all that? If you are still in that generation, that you'd be like, okay, let's not talk about it. So, what's this? Oh, it's private part. What's that? No, it's not called private part. It's you name the name. If you're still in that generation, okay, and we all of a sudden we all act childish, and then automatically something just makes you go because you have a child now, you're now a parent. It doesn't happen like that. That's why we are different from our white counterparts. So we need to run from girl meets boy syndrome. You see a girl, a typical, and I'm sorry if I'm generalizing now, but you ask a typical Nigerian man or probably men and say, why do you want to get married? If I get married like this, my wife will be cooking for me. Oh, my wife will be doing this for me. Those kind of childish, babyish mentality, what will it bring out? Tell me. So if you have what's that thing? Prince love mentality. Oh, Cinderella. Oh yeah, it's my prince. No common sense. What would happen when those kind of human beings, when they give birth to a child? So we have to start from the root by knowing that, okay, let us educate the people within our own parameters. Let people know, so we can say, oh, this person is a deadbeat father. Okay, why is this person? What do you need to do? How many deadbeat fathers do you know? Have you had opportunity to talk to them? Or you're just going to say, oh, it's not good to be a deadbeat father. But really, you that is talking about somebody being deadbeat fathers, you're not dead. You live inside the house with your child, but you don't even know anything about that child. And you're seeing the deadbeat fathers. So it's easy to name names. It's easy to point fingers, but we all need to go back to our drawing board and be the change we want to see in the world. So that's why I wouldn't say, oh, these deadbeat mothers, or we all, because this is as a result of faulty background. We are all taking water from the same pot. So automatically, somehow, we will be acting the same way. Only slight people, maybe luck, maybe chances, will make some people different. But we can do better by educating ourselves, by educating the people around us, by educating our children, our communities. I hope somebody is watching this and thinking, okay, what can I do to that baby father? What can I do to that baby mother? This is to say, you're a bad man. You are a baby father. You left your children. You shouldn't do that. No. Is there anything? What do you know the benefits? What's the benefit of you looking after your child? A lot of men, they are left in the what's it called? They are left in a place where they're being kept there, even abroad, because they've never looked after their children. And so when they grow older, they tend not to see anyone to look after them. Okay? And I'm not saying the people that look after their children, there's an automatic wherever that their children are going to look after them, but just do the good, what you have gained from your parents, or what you have seen the society teaching you. Be the change you want to be in the world. You want to see in the world. So I am saying, I'm making conscious effort to myself to say that when I see a deadbeat father, or maybe people that they are thinking differently, making conscious effort to say that, you know what, I understand. It's not easy. I could have been raped many years ago by somebody, and the person that could have raped me is still on Facebook. Is a professor. So if I come out tomorrow now, let's say I had raped me, and I said, oh, baby mother, somebody would have blamed me. Particularly, why did I go to where he raped me? Why was I there? What did I do? Even my parents at the time, they couldn't even believe me that this person was about to molest me. Okay? And he's alive. And he's a church member, a strong church person. And if I come out with my claim now, somebody's going to say, so what could have happened to me? I could have been that baby mama. Through no fault of my own. But it's not enough reason. I'm going to say something wrong before I round off. Is that you said certain things that these people, the way that they do their things, maybe baby mama is not something to be proud about. You see, many years ago, when bad things happen to people, they go into the shell. Some people suffer from suicidal thoughts. Some people suffer from a lot of depression. Some people suffer from a lot of mental illness and so on. But nowadays, what people do is that, you know what, this is me. If there's nothing, even though somebody might be making it look like it's a pride thing, but people who are sensible know that there's nothing to be proud about being a baby mama. But the thing is, even if they're saying it, they are only trying to how will I put it now? I'm looking for a very
psych themselves up.
Exactly. So we can't be angry that they are doing that to themselves. It's just us telling the people that try and avoid this path. It's a lonely road. It's not an easy path. It's not a path that people come up and say, oh, this is what it is. It's so easy if I jump in there. No. We can say that, but that doesn't mean that the people that find themselves there, they should not be like, okay, because something has happened to you, that's the end of your life. So they can come out and brag to be anything that they want to brag at. I'm sorry.
You weren't listening to me at all.
Okay, go on.
You misconstrued what I said.
Okay.
Remember, even while I was saying it, I kept sympathizing with people who had no business being baby, like people who it happened to.
Ron.
Sorry? Yeah?
Ron. Hold on. Let me try. Ron. Okay. Let me cut you. Let me just stop you there. You know why? I want to be the person to try and kind of explain so that Abimbola would actually realize that let me help you out. Now Abimbola, Ron isn't saying those that are baby mamas or anything. He's not blaming them per se. What he's saying is don't come out and give people the opinion that this is cool, this is okay.
Okay.
Because if we say let's allow them, let's encourage it, so to speak, there is someone out there who doesn't know right from wrong and who think this is a way of life and so fall into the same thing. So it's not as if one is castigating or blaming them outright. Obviously, some or most of them were due to mistakes or something beyond their control. But don't make it look as if it's okay, because the problem will continue to.
So what should they do if they find themselves in that situation without looking like they are flaunting it?
Okay, now
exactly. Like flaunt it. It's nothing. You have said
no. You said it. No. One said they flaunted. They are flaunting their citizens.
Don't do that. It's wrong.
No. What I'm saying, what can they do that will not make it look like they are flaunting their status? Abi, they are baby mama status.
Now, this is the thing. If you find yourself now, let's talk about the intentional one, the ones that want to be David.
Let's finish this one first. Then we go
we are still saying it's the same thing. Now, I'm against the intentional people who go out to become baby mamas, then become baby mamas, then come and glamorize it. And make it look
how did somebody intentional? So they are going intentional to become baby mama, and the baby father who is responsible, when they are doing the do, he was sleeping. He didn't know that they are taking something from him to become baby mama intentionally. He didn't know this.
Okay, again, I don't want to call names again because it lets it not look as if I have a problem with my main man, Davido. I don't have a problem with Davido. I don't have a problem with Two-Face. But that's not the issue. The issue is this. Women, sometimes, I know you're a decent person, but not everybody thinks like you.
You can't tell if I am. So
I look
just like every other person. No, I'm just saying, there's no for sentimental value purposes. You can't tell.
For the purpose of this podcast.
Yeah, presentation, yes.
Okay. I'm painting you as an angel now.
You are painting me as an angel. I'm not.
Okay. Now, for the purpose of this debate, let's just say you're an angel for the purpose.
Okay.
There are people who go out of their ways to achieve this feat. Okay, when I say go out of their ways to achieve this feat, it starts with it starts with I'm not ready to be a father. Me too, I'm not ready to be a mother. Okay, let's go. Do you use contraceptive? Yes, now I use contraceptive all the time. Can't you see my contraceptive injection card? Okay, then foolishly and they go ahead and something comes out of it. And it's like, I don't want this baby or terminate this baby. You say no, I'm not terminating. How can I have a seed of this celebrity and I'll come and terminate it? Never. Then this thing goes, and in most cases, these people they are keeping the babies for are even married with families. It's okay, we are going to keep the baby. Now you have the baby under that circumstances. Now nobody can play God. It has happened. It has happened. Why then still go out in public to glorify, glamorize it? That I mean, you see, that's the problem. You don't know it happens. It's happening. People are glamorizing their statuses as baby mamas. That's what I'm complaining about.
But all I'm saying is that a bad situation happened. Have you
Yeah.
not seen situation Africa before? They say turn your lemon to lemonade. So it's a bad situation, and they want to, come out and say, okay, after this lemon, this lemon has turned to lemonade for them. See, all I'm saying is that we can't hold people to do whatever they can brag about. Now,
You want to know the danger? You want to know the danger of that? You want to know
what
the
is the
danger?
danger? What is the danger of it?
Are you aware that if I see a poor, now let's be practical now. I'm a rich celebrity. I see a poor bread seller hawking bread and I impregnate her and she's carrying my seed, automatically she becomes a celebrity because now she's the one carrying this guy's seed. Now she comes publicly on the social media to say, I'm carrying this person's child, though. I'm now a baby mama. I'm his baby mama. She didn't even say I'm his fiance, girlfriend, anything. She openly tells you I'm his baby mama. What do you think the ones that are finishing secondary school and coming up, listening to all these things will do?
So
It becomes a trend.
that's why I was saying something about we need to now, it's our responsibility, not social media's responsibility. It's our responsibility to train our children. Now I've got a 14-year-old, and I saw something online on Facebook one day where an adult, I will use, maybe her age to be about 35 or 37. She's a lady. She's never got married before, and she got catfish. Catfish is when you saw a scammer on the on internet. And I told my daughter to have a look at this information. What do you think and all that? And she said, "Mommy, boy, this is so clear that this is catfish." Do you understand that at 14 she was able to say that this is catfish? Like if you go online, somebody's telling you something, blah 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 blah. She was going on and she was explaining it. As a matter of fact, this is how I did. Like, okay, she's not on Facebook. She's not, I'm begging her to go on Twitter or LinkedIn. She's not going there. But I'm saying, how did you know about it? They said they were taught in school. And I'm thinking, I think my own training, whatever, is a bit low. Thinking she wouldn't get there now. I don't have to train her about all those things now. But she already knows. Now, it is our duty to tell people, to know that not everything on social media is right. Is our duty, is our responsibility. It's like I tell, when my kids were young, I used to tell them, don't watch pirate movies, right? And I say that because I see that, when they watch it in the night, they start dreaming and they come up with all sorts of things. And because I say that, but on a particular day, they went to a pastor's house, quote and unquote, and they were watching witch, wizard, pirates, whatever. And they come to me, "Oh, mommy, you're not a pastor." I said, "I know that, but this pastor person, supposedly a pastor, is watching all this private, whatever." They were even dressing up as that. And I said to her, "You cannot train people how they're going to act, how they're going to react, and what they're going to do." So if you have somebody on your WhatsApp, for instance, my kids are on WhatsApp, they have their phone, and the person is showing bomb. I'm not going to be talking to everybody showing bomb and say, "Stop showing bomb, stop it." All I'm going to say is that block that person that is showing that thing. anything, take your mind. So that is where education comes through, because the world is going gaga, it's going crazy. You cannot stop people from expressing themselves. Talk is cheap. That's what they are doing. Do you understand? So we can, for all we care, we can say, oh, this fashion, this person is doing this person. People have to make a big deal out of whatever they are doing. Now, when Obi Kubana come out, when he came out with his party and all that, while some people are like, oh, that's fantastic, other people are like, oh, that's nonsensical, but it's anything that's happening on social media is a talking point for families to say that this is what I read here. Have you seen it? Do you know what this thing is wrong, is right? Do you know why it happened? Why should you be away from that? It's a talking point from household. So families that don't want their children to do that, they need to talk to them. The ones that want to continue in that way, in that manner, we can't stop them.
You're right.
So this is my own take. I'm not saying what they are doing is right.
It means we're on the same page then.
Yeah, I'm not saying what they are doing is right, but all I'm saying is that.
Give me five. Finally. I'm going to sleep well tonight.
So that's it.
So we can't control what they do.
We cannot.
Because it's their life. So how do we go about this? It's by educating and enlightening people around us.
Did you see this particular information? Did you see what happened here? Did you see what happened there? Why should you not do this? What makes you better than the person doing it? So why should you not put yourself in these circumstances? And I keep saying to people, you can know about a problem. Somebody can be talking about baby mama now and say, this baby mama. Do you know? Not because they are wishing that baby mama, whatever nonsense, but it could happen. You know why? Because they are looking at the event like this in their whole eye, but they are not studying it. They're not studying the pattern. Why did it happen? What happened? What happened at that environment? Why is you see mothers? Somebody said, "Oh, this didn't happen to my mother as well." How did it not happen to you again? Because we didn't go back to visit the history. We didn't want to know anything about it. Just say, "Oh, it happened to my mom." But what happened? Are you choosing? Is it genetic that is making you to choose the same kind of man that your daddy, your mommy choose? Is it genetic that is making your father to choose the same kind of woman that they are? So it's a lot, but we can't take it off from the edge. Now, in society, why a lady sees a man as a pot of soup or something to cash cow or to take something from, it's not just about that child that is doing that. It's about what is this child? What have they grown to know in the society? Have they been meeting fraudsters themselves and they thought, you know what, this person has defrauded me before, let me do it again, let me do it to another person. This person said they are not the owner of this pregnancy, but because I have slept with Davido, and Davido seems to be like a better person that will look after the baby if I mention the name, let me give this baby to Davido. Do you understand? So it's about this fundamental education.
I need to point out once again, Davido, my hands are clean. In case
Why
you were away? Abibola and I agreed.
For once, yeah?
No, I was listening to you guys. It's just that the pain was I couldn't be on air and you guys watch me scream.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Please take care of yourself when you need to, please, sir. We are doing fine.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I just logged off because
us as a change agent, and we're learning.
So it's just about us, all of us, and don't look at me as an expert. So it's not like I know better, but it's just that in order to get away from where we are now, all of us need to learn. We need to learn. We
have to be introspective.
Exactly.
To be able
we can't be using the manual of our forefathers, how they used to beat children. You see how adults come out say, do you know the training they used to give us when I was growing up? It worked for me, but that person is suffering from a particular emotional damage. He's not looking at that. So he has come out successful, quote and unquote, maybe has a good job, he's very active, he's very agile, he has everything working for him, but he's struggling in a particular place, area of his life. It could be emotional, it could be psychological. But we are not looking at that because it's not emotional. It's not. So somebody that just get home now for no reason and just shouting at the wife is mental illness. The wife did not do anything, just shouting. With a thumbing like sorry.
So we should not talk again.
I was already saying that.
Did you hear?
Actually, you know when you said that, I was like, thank you, you giving me ammo because I talk to Ron virtually every day. So the day I hear him talking to his wife, I'll just be like, you know this is.
No, we cannot see, people might be successful in every area of their life, but when they get to certain, they want to. If you hear some husband will say, "Oh, you don't realize I'm the man in this house," I'm thinking the day you start asking your wife that question, you have lost the manship in that house.
Exactly.
You're no longer the head. I want my man to be the head.
You need to sit down and ask yourself, what did I do to lose it? Instead of attacking the woman and start, because obviously for you to be in a place where you are questioning that, do you realize that it means that you yourself, that you have done something to lose that position. And that is the thing about, when they say, feminists are men haters, we are not men haters. You see, feminists know that everybody have roles, but what we are saying is let everybody be treated human. Wait, I have to bring. We are all human first. Let's all be treated as human. Then, of course, our roles. But when someone is trying to now be like, I am better than you, I am higher than you, based on the fact I am this gender and you are that gender. Come on.
I always say this: to whom much is given, much is expected.
Much is expected.
You're going to be my head. You're not head of fish. You're not head of cat. You're head of human. So you have a lot of responsibility in your hand. For God, God help me. I want somebody to be that head. Like, okay, the proper head. But don't come and be head and be acting like a tail. Don't be head and be doing like supposed to be head. Stay like your name and be head. Because you're dealing with humans. You're trying to manage. See, when people say, "Oh, the man is the head of the family," I'm like, okay, no one is. No sane woman will have you that
with you.
Yeah, also from me.
Abi, you have changed your position. What do you mean that nobody's?
I've not changed my position. I've always said that.
Abi.
No. I've not changed my position. My position remains the same. I am a human being first. And I should be treated as a human being and not treated as if I am less than. I am not less than anybody.
And then what's the concept of head about now?
No, all I'm saying is that, see, everything starts from the responsibility thing. It starts from us. I know what you're saying.
He wants to come here. We will fight though.
It starts from us learning. That's why I said to you that I don't know any better. So don't be looking at me as some kind of expert and talk is cheap. People talk and talk and talk and talk. Let them be faced with that situation. That's where you will know. Maybe they actually know what they are saying, or maybe they don't. So deadbeat fathers, deadbeat mothers, where did it start from?
Exactly.
It starts from the family unit. It starts from them, even if it's a single parent. I don't like using the word single mother. I like to use single parents because the parent is somebody that gave birth to a child. So there's no need for maybe, unless there's a reason where I want to be very specific, then I say maybe a mother or something. But a single parent, the fact that the man is not in the house, they see, the way the society has made things look like is that, okay, automatically, if a man is not in this house, the house is useless. It's a fallacy.
But look at the number of extremely exceptional people that have been in society that were brought up by women, that only one parent. Look at Obama. Look at
but we usually don't give credit to things like that.
Sorry. You see, that's the problem I have. I knew you were going to Obama. But you do realize before there was an Obama, there were 43 other presidents who didn't share Obama's history. You see how Abi decides to choose Why not?
Who told you that? Who told you that there were no other presidents that did not have single fathers amongst the other presidents? Who
Okay,
said so?
okay, then you are forgiven then.
See,
You are
we make what
I'm
is
only
not
going for the one that looks like me. Oh, I beg.
we make things look bigger than it is. So
uh,
somebody doesn't. There's no father in the house. The father is somewhere gloating that they will need me someday. They are going to need me someday, even though I'm not responsible.
ah,
Waiting, no, it happens. It does
Yes,
happen. We've
now
seen it before.
the father
When
will
the
come and
father
be saying that until you
is
give me
big, my
my
wife.
entitlement, I am not going to agree for you to marry my daughter. Daughter that he doesn't even know
That
how
doesn't
she went
even
to
know.
school.
So when they start seeing by society, but I refuse to go to attend a wedding that I know that is going to scatter within 6 months. And I was right anyway. I wasn't wishing them evil because
Abby, please give me another high five, please, another one for the night, just another high five.
which one? High five.
Yeah, another one. Thank you.
Thank
We've
you.
agreed
I
twice
refuse.
today. We've agreed
Me,
twice
I
today.
will go for the jollof.
So I refuse. Now I refuse to attend the wedding. The wedding was in Nigeria, and the person doing the wedding was a close relative. But I knew that the wedding was to scatter within 6 months, and I'll tell you why. Because the guy does abuse the woman. Okay, they have 2 children already, and after the 2 children, they decided they were going to get married. So the lady was very close to me, and she said, "Oh, auntie, oh, he's asked to marry me." I'm confused. Who is going to marry who? He said the guy is going to marry. I said the one that you are living with is beating you like a drum. He said yes. I said, okay,
I'm in
no
love. I'm in
problem.
love.
And at the end of the day, but annoyingly, the family members respectfully, I don't know if they're going to watch this and they're going to say I'm lashing them out now. The family members that respectfully they taught us values, they taught us education. This is why I have problems with elderly people in Africa generally because they bend. Oh man, or shaka or shoko. I don't know English
Yes.
too much. You know,
Agaba gave
they're like very dicey, very unpredictable. They
hypocritical,
sometimes
wishy-washy.
wishy-washy. Stick to the truth. So I said to them, we are not supposed to approve this wedding because these 2 people, they're not fit to marry each other because at the end of the day, they might kill, the child, the girl might be killed. And then what I heard was, oh no, they love each other. I said, how do you know? At the end of the day, 6 months down the lane, congratulations, they broke up.
It
And they
was
said,
more about their own need to have a wedding that they can say, there's a
yeah.
wedding in our
So what
house.
they
And that
did,
is what I was saying about, a girl will come to a guy's house and say, oh, your son and I had coitus and now I'm pregnant. And the mother will be like, if I ever see your leg in this house again, my son, stop touch you. Why have
I,
you even
I've
asked
always
your son
been,
if he slept with the girl before you
I've always
decided that?
been I've always been a DVM character, even before I got married and all that and all this whatever that happened. I've always been a DVM character because whilst I was in uni, if I go to my boyfriend's house and maybe there are people there and they're like, oh, our wife is here, come and wash plates. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I wasn't living abroad, I was living in Nigeria. So you can imagine if somebody's going to come and say he's a feminist, it's been a long time, you're going to be calling me. I said, I'm sorry, I can't wash plates. I didn't come here to wash plates for, the plates that you guys have piled up for like God knows how many days. So it's respect
I'm
and
a guest
regard.
in your house. Why should I be
Someone goes
washing
to your
plates?
house. I didn't come there to come and cook either. So then they'll be surprised because everybody that comes, I'm not looking for husband. I'm not looking for this person that I've come to say hello to was my friend. And so
You,
let's respect it.
you know something funny.
Yeah.
What you said is actually correct. Let me be sincere with you. Recently, I've changed my stance about dating, like dating before marriage. I'm beginning to feel it's not even necessary. Come to think of it, because I don't understand why somebody will use another human being throughout the dating period, wash my clothes, do this, do that, and at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you just go and marry somebody else without even informing the
Yeah.
This is
person.
the thing. How many men have gone to a woman's house and the father of the girl or the mother of the girl is like, I decided today I want to cook with firewood. So please go and split firewood at the backyard.
Just
We
go
want
go like shaggy.
You know, no, but they don't send this guy errands when he goes to visit the
I won't
girl.
lie
He
to
will
you.
balance like a king,
I won't lie
and she
to
will
you.
be running around serving
Are you
then
there?
she will not go to his house again and go and serve him there again. Ha!
I won't lie to you. My father-in-law is a cool guy. If then he asked me, I won't even think twice. The guy is such a correct guy. In fact,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
me
I
too.
had to collect the
Me too.
daughter because if
Kind
this
person where I
correct
be,
guy
I
is a
go
very correct guy.
gladly.
If he ever asked me to, I would have done it. That's to tell how
No,
correct the guy is.
Sean, what did you say?
I said, Miss, now so me I be. Before they no need to ask me, say I go do am.
But what I'm saying is
But
the
it's wrong. It's wrong.
possibility
Yeah,
is remote.
yeah, yeah.
I
The
No, it won't
possibility
even
of you
happen.
being asked to do anything is
Just
remote.
I
because you are
ran
a guy.
away. I ran away from a particular relationship because I got to the house and they were telling me to cook. This is their
Hmm.
house, not even the guy's house. They just told me to cook.
Do you
And
have a catering business then?
sorry,
Did you have a catering business then?
don't mind no kitchen. We're getting me at the cook. I'm not having kitchen. So they
Caterer.
said, I should come there and cook. So I asked the guy, I said, am I doing practical or something? Me, I've not even accepted to marry you. We are just friends. And it was like a dogma because they have a prototype. What they expect a lady to know how to do, what they expect a lady to do, and all that. Aside from all the respect, kneeling down, dressing very. I love short skirts anyway. So when I'm going anywhere, I just wear my bad short skirts, like, and I mean like very bad, and probably tint my hair, and so they've already assumed that it's either I'm a bad girl, bad child,
Yeah.
rebel,
Hmm.
bad girl, bad child. So I have all the characteristics.
Lomo.
I have the characteristics, and my mouth was not like there's nothing. It won't go past me. As I was talking like this, I'm going like this, like this. And so
Dapa
they're like,
Dani.
this girl, you're not going to get married though. I say, is that one a problem? Do you understand what I mean? Because this is, they expect you to be very respectful. I remember the first day they were introducing me to my ex's family, and he doesn't like to be called ex, but he's ex actually. So my ex's family, the first time they were introducing me, they said he said to them, said, "Oh, meet my wife to be blah blah bullshit," and they said to me, "Oh, she looks so gentle." I'm not gentle. I'm supposed to keep quiet, isn't it? I'm not gentle, but I'm not a fighter. If you don't call me, I'm a Lagos girl. So I will explain myself. So it was different because I know what I wanted. I know something different from what other people wanted. So I've seen that when people go places, I can't go and come and visit and be serving me food like I'm some kind of, I'm gonna say no. We don't have a lot, but I have my own standards. Like, okay, this is what I want for myself. So if every lady, we are all working towards perfection, to, give yourself, you've got value. Ladies, pretty ladies, ugly ladies, it doesn't really matter. It's your beauty that is from inside that you have to radiate.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So it doesn't really matter how you look, how you do. Don't let people. The society has a way of making ladies to feel valueless, to think that all you've come into love. And why I get angry with this is that you've sent your child, men. I hope you are watching. You can comment. I will see all the comments at some point. You send your child to go to uni, and that child that you sent to go to uni, would you now say that the reason you send that child to go to uni is to go to the kitchen and just be there 247 in the other room
Exactly.
24/7? It doesn't
And
make
in the
sense.
other room,
Ozarum.
So we all have to do better, educating our children, making sure
ah,
that they know left from
come
right.
out for
The
my hand.
men, educating, to know that, okay, you are a man, you have that responsibility. I love men. I love good men. I love respectable men. I respect them a lot. But you know what? You know the horrible ones? It takes me 1 second. If you come on my page, every day is their day on my page. The day that I want to open whatever on them, I will go. I won't even stop. Okay? Because the point there is that you have to change. You need to change. That's all. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a school teacher.
No,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no.
But
Actually, this is what I'm going to say because I think that we've gone around the topic quite extensively and we've dealt with it quite decisively. This is what I'm going to say. Look, it's one thing for, Yoruba people say they will teach you, but you also teach yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing to say, oh, I didn't grow up with proper male figure or proper female figure, but at least you have a sense of what is right and what is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And even if circumstances happen, we are all human. And you might meet somebody, you might be like, you know what, there are people who they're in a relationship, they're using birth control, they're doing everything, but then birth control fails, and then next thing they find themselves with a child coming to the world, and they're not ready, and they're like, whoa, how do we do? But you see, sometimes adversity happens and it gets us to pull ourselves together by our socks up. And the thing is, when circumstances happen, especially when another being who has not asked you to bring them to the world is being introduced, you just have to pull yourself together and find a way, whatever it is. You see, the problem, you see some people be like, oh, this job is beneath me, or I can't do this, I can't do that. Hey, all that, you're just making excuses. When you have another being who is dependent on you, you have to be there in every way. So helping to do the homework, sitting down with them to talk to them, to make sure that they're learning, the right things to do, developing them spiritually, also developing them, in ways that giving them memories of a childhood that they're like, yes, you know what, my dad was a hard worker, but he still took time out to be there. Oh, my mom was a hard worker, but my mom still took time out. You see, girls of today, we have to find a way to encourage them to look for other things to do apart from find some rich guy or famous guy to hang on to. And
Mm-hmm.
also encourage young men that yes, it is normal. Once you get to a certain age, your hormones are all over the place. But you know what, if you actually concentrate it on one person, it's not a crime, there's nothing bad there. Just
They're
give
not
that
supposed to
kind of,
be doing something. They're not supposed to be doing something before marriage now.
as I said again, not everybody is Christian, not everybody is Muslim,
It's
not
not a
everybody is,
sorry, it's not a Christian concept. Again, that
okay.
is a wrong perception. Before Christianity came, we had a sane society. It has nothing to do with
Where we have
Once
this,
once a man is known with a woman, that okay, these are the ones, the family knows that these are things happen. It had happened time immemorial, and
no,
it's happening
I'm just saying
now.
that it wasn't acceptable then, even before
Oh, yeah,
Christianity.
but it's happening because
oh,
it's not this is it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and yet we are the
No,
most
no,
populous
no, no,
population in Africa.
don't blame Christianity for it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not
Like,
blaming Christianity. Oh, I
okay,
said that it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, but some are children are everywhere.
yes, but still,
Uh-huh. So it's
but
happening. You know how this is. Say something happen right now. Something happening every time. On that, if God allow roof to be flying when things are happening, many houses won't have roof. Oh. So leave that. So, but bottom line is this: we need to encourage each other to be better. Not
mm-hmm.
when people try and say, oh, there's an alternative. And the next thing people are shouting, no, it's not Nakata. And everybody is talking about how it is not this and how it is not that. And no solution is coming forth. And the people who are trying to maybe be better, do better, are then shut down and they're being pushed back into that same old cycle, that same old story. So I want to thank you so much, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Happy, thank you so much. Sherry Sean, thank you. I don't know, maybe Nepal has dealt with him where he is. So
nobody
you
has
have
to
to
come back
go.
to the road again.
And of course Ron, because if I forget it this time, you will never let me hear the last of it.
Oh, but you have to do it twice. This time is the one for last week.
And of course Ron. again. Thank you so much for coming to share your thoughts and to really be, and thank you for accommodating, because I'm really struggling, but thank you for accommodating me with trying to cope through this show. For everyone who's also putting comments, Gloria, thank you so much. For everyone who's watching, really really appreciate you. And if you have any topic you think you want us to talk about, we also try and get in experts who'll be able to give advice. Please send
Next
this
week.
to us. We on
Well,
our page, MungalowCroonings on Facebook. Send it to us, and we're about to set up our Twitter handle also, so that you can send your questions or the topics you
we'll
want
be
us to talk
bringing in an
about.
expert next week.
Yes. So
Well,
we're going to bring in our experts with a very good topic next week. But till we do this again, just want to say thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. Take care and God bless.
Bye bye.
Bye.
we're flying.